Good morning, folks. It's Big Daddy coming at you on that drive time. Yes, I'm just pulling into work right now, so I guess it's not the drive time, it's the sit time. It's the sit time to do a podcast because, yes, I haven't done one in a while. Been busy taking care of some shit, and now that it's taken care of, not actually sit back and have some good old time with y'all. But today, excuse me, my throat's a little gummy. And then my throat chakra's all acting up. It's been acting up for the last week because I have stuff to say, but I have been busy, and I just don't want to drop shit just to be dropping it. I want to make sure that this has meaning. I want to make sure that this is worth your time listening to. You feel me? Today is a question. It comes from a JoJo Dancer. So, Miss JoJo Dancer, thank you very much. She says, I've been listening to your podcast for a while. You talk a good spirituality game, but do you talk the talk and do you walk the walk? Also, how does she put it? Oh, let me look again. Also, would you suggest for people to get on their spiritual path? Well, Ms. JoJo Janser, thank you very much. I appreciate you with the question. Thank you for listening, most of all. Hell, I mean, where you are hailing from, according to the email, Brazil. Ooh, shit, yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. That's a long ways to listen. Excuse me. So, what got me on my spiritual game? Do I walk my talk? You know what? I do the best I can. A lot of folks who are on the spiritual journey do tend to stray. I stray once in a while because I get around people who don't exactly still bring out the best of me, but that's my fault. I still want to be friends with people who aren't particularly trying to get better with themselves. So what I do is I just try to show them by example, try to show them, what I do. And hopefully I just hope it rubs off on them. But each person's journey is different. You can't force everyone to be on the spiritual journey that you're on, or hope that they'll do right by themselves, kind of like you do. That's not my job. My job isn't to be caretaker to people. It's not to be, hold people by the hand and say, no, this is what's working for me. And when they do ask me, so how have you done it? It took me getting really, really bad with myself to realizing I don't want that shit no more. I don't want to be around certain people no more who I feel are just taking advantage of me, who I feel aren't trying to bring out the best in me, who are negative. They're fucking energy vampires, always complaining, always bitching and shit like that. I say that with all kinds of love because I was that way. Everything I just described about those people I don't want to really be around anymore, I was the same damn way. And I noticed that people over the years, some people just really got away from me. And I noticed that they didn't say goodbye, boo, fuck you. They didn't even say nothing. They just exited the stage, left. And it tends to happen with a lot of people when they don't want to be around certain people anymore. They just leave. No explanation. They feel like they don't owe an explanation. But if you had any kind of love for them, you would say something. I mean, there's people who leave me all the time still, and I don't think it's because to me personally, I don't feel I'm all high and mighty with all this. I'm just doing my best just to be the best person I can be each and every single damn day. Well, not necessarily the best, better than I was. There you go. Because I feel once you feel like you're the best, you have no other goal to achieve. And as long as you feel like you're getting better every day, take yourself up another level, then you're going to be good to go. For instance, what really got me started was a couple years back. I was doing some shit that I shouldn't have been. Okay, I was doing some nasty shit, and being by nasty meaning I was just doing all kinds of nasty shit with people who I shouldn't have been doing stuff with. And I realized that at the end of the day, when they would go home and I'm still by myself, I was still catching feelings, and I would get really emotional because they weren't with me. They were still with them, if you know what I mean. So that just led to one bad thing after another, and it really, really got bad when I've talked about it before on the podcast, and you probably heard it too. Me and my son almost came to blows. Matter of fact, the blows almost came to stab wounds, and that's when I realized something was really, really fucking wrong. After spending the night in jail, after the shit happened, it gave me time to really sit back and think about my actions, about what I was doing, how I was doing it, how I was proceeding. And it was just a hot mess. Finally, I just decided that, you know what? Enough. I can't do this no more. I'm trying to get better. I want to be better. And so my journey started. And it was sad. It was sad for me that me and my son, we didn't talk for a long time. And even right now, we talk, but we don't. And that's a whole nother wound that's going to take time to heal and stuff like that. I wasn't the best parent, but I did the best I could. And most people, when they're parents, they're not thinking about a spiritual journey. They're not thinking about, trying to, work on themselves. Everything becomes about their children. So parents abandon who they are in order to make sure that their parents are good. But not all parents, though. I'm not gonna lie, not all parents. Some parents are so into themselves, they're like, well, if they want to act up, then here, just let them go on their own and they can do whatever they want to. And then later on, they say, well, I tried my best, I love my child. No, if you really loved your child, you'd have done your best in the early years to make sure you were there. That's spiritual. The spiritual also isn't meditating for hours on end. The spiritual could be sitting there smiling, enjoying the sunset, being with friends, spending time with yourself, with that long nature hike, those long nature hikes. We all love going on long nature. No, not all of us love nature hikes. Some of us are so fucking lazy that, they'd rather stay inside all damn day and not do shit. And I know a lot of people like that. That's kind of sad, but to each their own. No, I'm not hating. To each their own. I just know that my spiritual journey has been one hell of a damn roller coaster. Some people get it, some people don't. I've had a lot of other friends who've asked me, oh, you think you're some spiritual guru now? And I don't think nothing. That's what you think. But thank you for letting me know how you feel. Even when people say, oh, I'm just joking. No, you still said it. You showed me exactly how you feel. And I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I'm not sorry because your mental bullshit, your instability, that's on you. And that can't be helped. Not by me. So beware sometimes, folks, about people who joke around when they say shit like that. Behind every joke is a hint of truth. And a lot of folks have been coming to me that way. A lot of folks are too used to someone being shitty like them that when someone decides to be better than they were yesterday, and they'll start saying different things to bring it back down to their level, those are people that you don't need to be around. Seriously. Those are people that you just do not need to be around. But if you do choose that, remember there's consequences for everything. You'll take steps back from getting to the point where you are now to going back to something that you didn't want to be in the first place. Yes, we all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. We all want people to check us out. And, especially now in this day and age of social media, we all want to be liked. We want our shit to go viral. We just want to be accepted. But until you accept yourself, which was the hardest lesson I had to learn, until you accept yourself, no one else is going to accept you. Matter of fact, when you don't accept yourself on social media, when you have those breakdowns, when you talk shit, people are just really waiting for you to do it so they can have a good laugh at your expense. Your true friends really will pop out and they will appear to themselves. They will appear to you. And they will test your spirituality. And spirituality, folks, isn't always going to church, reading the Bible, believing in God, all that. Hell no. Spirituality is whatever the hell that you feel it makes you a better person. And that's one of the things that took me a long time to understand, what I had fights with people about. When, take for instance my mom. She knows I don't believe God or the Bible anymore and stuff like that anymore. But once in a while she'll still say, well, you still could read the Bible and you can do this. No, I don't have to. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me no more. That does nothing for me. If it works for you, that's fine. But don't try to force me into something that doesn't work. Don't ever force anyone into something that doesn't work for them, because you will lose every single time. And what that does is that fosters resentment. And I don't have resentment towards my mom anymore because she, when she did that, and I'm just like, I just respectfully disagree, and I tell her, I'll tell her too, if you're gonna keep up, I'm going home. She shuts up then. I don't want to hear that bullshit. I really don't, because my journey is my journey. Respect people on theirs. Respect people for what makes them a better person. If it's being a Catholic, Presbyterian, Christian, whatever. Don't knock their shit. Don't do that, because you don't know what that person's going through in order for them to believe in something higher than them, or something that's going to help them elevate to be on the level of their God or the spirituality in that sense. It's not fair. Like I said, I've had that done to me so many damn times. And do I walk my walk and talk? And when I talk the talk, like I said, I do my best. I'm not always 100 with it. There's times I get my feelings still. I'm human. I'm human. I'm a spiritual being. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, but that human side takes over sometimes. And yeah, I get those earthly, fleshly desires. Sex, loud music. Well, there's nothing wrong with loud music. Nothing wrong with sex either. But I get my vices. Sometimes my vices kick in. The alcohol, because I really don't drink anymore. And once in a while, I've been noticing myself. I've been having a little bit more of a drink, and I don't want to do that. But it's hard. It's a challenge. Spirituality, to me, is the biggest challenge you could ever have in your life, because it's the biggest test of what you're going through. Whenever you want something really bad in your life, something positive, something good, that's when life starts testing you to see how bad do you want it. And for me, I want it bad. I don't want to be like I was yesterday. I want to be a better person. Like, for instance, this past Monday, I think I was tested hard. I actually, for the first time, for the very first time since I moved down here to come work at this chiropractic office, was the first time I actually didn't want to come into work. I was thinking of different ways. Damn, I want to call in. Fuck this place. Because there's so much damn negativity here. There's so much just shit going on over here. It's overwhelming. And I don't want to deal with it. So, I really was. I was thinking of different ways. I was thinking of saying, okay, you know what? Just go in and talk to them, see what's going on. But how do you talk to people that you have a hard time looking in the eye? It's hard for me. Because to me, that's a complete sign on my part that I don't respect them. And I don't want to ever come into my job feeling like I don't have respect for nobody. But if it ever gets to that point, that means it's time for me to go. So yesterday, what I did, I got all my crystals, I said my prayers, I said all my blessings, and was like, okay, you know what? Spiritually above, give me the strength and the clarity and the patience I need to deal with the bullshit at work. And I was good all damn day. And I did the same thing today. Plus, my ex-wife used to say something that just really resonated with me, and I still say it to this day. If I have to put up with your shit, you gotta put up with mine. Man, that's probably one of the best lessons that she ever taught me. Let me make it clear, that was my ex-wife who told me that. Okay, she gave me some good lessons. She's the one who really got my gears going into spirituality, because we would talk for hours on end about the human condition and getting right with yourself and making sure that you have it to go on to. And it doesn't have to be taking care of your family and stuff like that, because if you can't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of anybody else. It goes back to that old analogy that they do in like psychology sometimes. You're on an airplane, you're with your child, you're taking off, and all of a sudden the emergency happens and the mask drops. Whose mask do you put on first? And of course, the wrong answer is you put your child's on first. No, you put yours on first, because unless you can help yourself first, then you can't help anybody else. Make sure that your mask is on so that you're capable of helping others in return. So there was a couple times I would argue with folks and psychiatrists and everybody else about that. They're like, well, Philip, if your child has their mask on first and you pass out, And is your child going to be capable of having that strength to help you? Do you think a 5-year-old child is going to know what to do with that mask? Do you think this? Do you think that? Blah, blah, blah. Stupidly, I would argue. I'm like, well, no, what if you teach him this way, and if you do this, yeah. I still ended up losing end of that discussion. And in the end, you know, they were right. They were right. I kind of equate spirituality in the same way. You got to look at yourself in order to get good with yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Okay? Sure, life will throw you all kinds of breathing masks. How you put it on matters. I know that sounds crazy, but how you put that mask on, it really absolutely matters. Sometimes you may put it just over your nose. You may just put it over your mouth. You may put it on correctly. But as long as you put it on, and it doesn't matter how it goes on, as long as you get that breath of fresh air in order to keep breathing, which spirituality to me is breathing, you'll get good with yourself. You'll get right with yourself. And most of all, you'll be able to help others if they want it. I know there's a lot of folks that I don't communicate anymore with because I really feel we're just on different levels nowadays. It's not that mean that we're not friends. I just don't feel like we're as good of friends as I thought we were, because as you work on yourself, as you try to be better than you were yesterday, and you see them still stuck in the same spot, of course you want to throw them the mask. You want to say, hey, take a big old breath. But if they're not willing to take that breath, if they're constantly in their excuses, if they're constantly looking at you like, well, who do you think you are? And I've had people tell me straight up, Miss JoJo Dancer, straight up, you're gonna get this. When you try to help people on their spiritual journey, you're gonna, especially like old friends who only know you a certain way, who only think that you haven't grown up, who think that you're still that same person who has done bad shit. And let's just say that you two have moved on. Okay, you're still friends, but you live somewhere else, and they live back in hometown. When you see each other again, they're gonna try to get you to do a whole bunch of old dumb shit like you used to. Well, the old person I know used to do this, and they were fun, and they were this. They would drink, and they were this. Let that be a lesson, because I have a lot of people who tell me the same thing. Well, I remember when Philip Magani was fun. I remember when this was this, and you were doing this, and you were doing that. Well, that's the old me. I can't grow up. You just think you're better than everybody else now. Okay. I politely tell them, I'm no better than nobody else. I'm just better than the bullshit than I was yesterday. And they'll sit there and they'll just look at me, and I know that will be the last time I ever talk to them. And it's happened. There's a lot of folks that, you know, who still go by the way I used to be. You know, they're in their ways now, and that's fine. To each their own. To me, spirituality is learning also to let go. It's learning to let go of things that no longer serve you, and that could be people, that could be places. Flagstaff didn't serve me anymore. I've done everything I could over there. I've tried my best, and there's a lot of pain over there. There's a lot of pain that's associated with Flagstaff for me, man. I just can't. I don't ever see myself living there again. This is a big world, and I want to travel. I want to see it all. I want to do things. I want to live in different places. I want to experience different cultures. I want to be able to look at other people in the eye and realize that, hey, you're part of my fucking tribe. I love this. You know, strong energy matches up with strong energy. And I make sure every day I do my best to vibe as high as I can, not only for myself, but for my massage clients. Because I know when they come in, they're low vibing. And before my mistake, I was trying to match their energy and bring them up that way. I'm like, no. That drained the shit out of me. I mean, drained. Sometimes even after my first session, I'm like, you know what? Goddamn, why am I feeling like this? I vibe high. I keep that vibe high, and I do my best to bring them up to where I'm at. So that way, when they get that good old high vibe, they're floating out of here. So to all my fellow massage therapists, just in case you didn't know, yes, when people are floating out of there, when they got the massage head, it's because you elevated their vibe. They're matching yours now. Okay? Be proud of that. Be very, very proud of that, because that's a skill that not many people have. Especially what we do. And, we're giving of ourselves constantly. Our cup is running empty almost all the damn time, but yet we keep going. Shit, to me, massage is spiritual. Being able to help someone feel better in that capacity, not only physically, but if they've been having a bad day, they vent on your table, and it's going to happen. Massage therapists get venters on their table. Sometimes we get ones who are just quiet, who just want the process, and they want to be floating out of there on cloud 9, cloud 10, whichever one that they want to float on. Hell, the Nimbus cloud from Dragon Ball Z, shit, well, hell, why not? We just do what we do, and I do what I do, not because I feel like I'm some spiritual guru now, or people think I'm better than everybody else, or whatever, or whatever they want to say. And I know people talk. That's one thing about spiritual people. We know when people are doing things. We know when people are throwing shit against us. We know when people actually love us, hate us, all that stuff. Especially when it's our loved ones, people that we call family. But those people don't realize, and you'll know, Miss JoJo Dancer, real quick, that you can take all of that shit away from them. If people keep up with their bullshit, and if they always keep talking that shit to you, because there's more to the letter than the email that I'm really talking about. But just to let you know, if people keep talking that bullshit to you, especially people that you love, walk away. Take all the love, take all the joy that you gave them, take all the space that you gave them, take all that shit back, because that means they don't deserve it. That means they weren't down to ride with you in the first place. That means there's some kind of jealousy or hatred there. They don't want you to elevate. They want you to be where you were yesterday. Don't do that, please. I'm asking anyone who's feeling that way, take your shit back. Just take it back. There's a lot of that shit I'm taking back from people, because they've shown me their colors. They've shown me exactly how much they really think about me and feel about me. I still love them, but I'm gonna have to love them from a distance now. I'm gonna have to walk away from them, but I'm gonna have to do it with love. Just tell them, like I just do the words like I always tell them, hey, we need separation, but I separate from you with love. I can't do this no more. So good luck to you. I still love you, but I walk away from you with love. Does that leave the door open? No, it doesn't. Because once someone leaves my life in that capacity, that door is closed. I'm serious. That door is fucking closed, because you can feel the taint if they come back in your life and they try that shit again. And I've had several people try that, and fuck no. Hell no. Protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs. Hell, I protect my peace against people who are in my tribe now. Because some of them, I don't know. Some of them, they got that funkiness going on. I try to help them. I try to talk to them. They don't want to talk, so respect where they're at. That's all you can do. Just be there for them in the capacity that is good for both of you later on down the road. But man, don't sit there and beg anyone to tell you anything. Don't beg for a friendship, nothing. Because in the end, it won't be worth it. So Miss JoJo Dancer, I hope this helped you. It helped me. Hell, talking about all this, you don't realize that when people ask me questions, when they get me rolling, when I start talking about subjects like this, I feel good. I love these high-level conversations. I love doing high-level podcasts like this, because it brings the best out in me, I feel. I just love it. Okay? I just love it. And I hope this really helps you. I hope this helped anyone who listened. And I got to sign off, y'all. Big Daddy got to go massage some folks. And, of course, as usual, I might be a little late, but, hey, it's okay. I love doing this. So have a good day, everybody. Big Daddy loves you all. Go have a fucking adventure like I always tell y'all. And as always, mwah, peace.